After England defeated the French at the Battle of Bremule, Normandy was back in King Henry's hands. But 1 year later, his good fortune turned to tragedy. In 1120, his son and heir William Adelin died in a shipwreck. The future of Henry I's kingdom was in jeopardy. Henry desperately needed a new heir. With no legitimate sons left alive, he broke with tradition and chose his daughter, Matilda. Henry forced his barons to swear an oath to accept Matilda as queen. But when the king died, they broke their promise. England would not be ruled by a woman. Matilda's cousin Stephen saw his chance and claimed the throne. The crisis moved to the capital. At Westminster Abbey, Stephen was crowned king, but Matilda wanted what was hers. She was also lining up powerful supporters who would fight Stephen for her right to rule. Their conflict engulfed England in civil war. Fighting raged throughout the land. In 1141, everything focused on one of the kingdom's most strategic cities, Lincoln. Matilda's allies had commandeered the castle. But King Stephen was determined to take it back. He besieged the castle. Stalemate. As dawn broke on February the 2nd, everything was about to change. Matilda's half-brother, Robert of Gloucester, raced to break the siege. As Robert's forces approached Lincoln, Stephen's army turned away from the castle to face them. Robert could win Matilda the crown, but only if his army could win the day. Robert of Gloucester's forces approached Lincoln. Their task, to liberate the castle from King Stephen's siege. While behind Lincoln's walls, troops loyal to Matilda held the castle for the Empress. First, Robert's forces would stage an ambush to prevent enemy reinforcements from joining with King Stephen's army. Robert's men concealed themselves in a sheltered grove and lay in wait for the enemy. Robert defeated the first column of Stephen's reinforcements, but he knew more were on the way.
What will each suessa alianta?
With a supol wende di hesta.
Hier each obey thine his. What be each fortheth in his? What will thou each set each fortheth in his?
With a sulichka.
Ik heb het wel met de bouw!
Send them it. What be each suessa?
Bende! Is dat weer
With more of Stephen's reinforcements eliminated, Robert was steadily undermining the siege.
What will each do a sua thuendest?
Cosa is saddled. Scout.
Send them it to Minawekes.
Het wel beodo.
Hierway for each obey thine his. What beeth in hesten? Each do a sua, each forth. Hierway for blood on bal. Each sua his alianta.
Ik heb het wel met de bouw!
Scouter, ik wil doen dat.
Bendes, is zijn er hierbij! Ik heb het wel met de bouw!
Send them in. What beeth in hesten?
Scouter, with a sulichka!
Robert's men decimated King Stephen's reinforcements and were poised to break the siege. Continuing the push towards Lincoln, Robert sent in a large company of reinforcements to aid his vanguard. To further weaken the siege, Robert would need to cut off Stephen's supplies. He targeted the nearby market town.
Fustin, Dwinleth, Bereth, Nuthan, Comathon, Foliende Hestus. Hierway for blood on bad. Dresset jou Yes.
Ik heb het wel met de bouw!
Scouter, you ready to read? With a sulichka. Cosa is saddled.
What beeth each Hester Heriende Hestes nu. What each do a sua thuendest? Each do a sua thuendest. Yeah, Heriende Hestes nu.
Give him a get well beodon. Give him Paul Wendell Scouter, you ready to read?
Boy, Isibuna. He can't do. Send them to Minawekes. What beeth in his Yarway Shetton? What beeth? Boy, Isibuna. So they head.
Scout, wait! It's there on the ball! Give them a hestes. Verende suave. With a shot. Ik come on. It's so hard to Scouter, volwende die heste. Koester is zadel, ik gilt het daar. Scouter, Scouters, Scouters. Då är det mitt hotel. sua het.
Ich tue so!
Isana Mirbi! Scoutes, Isana Dupa! Scoutes, Isab
Kus, ich held op.
Bandits, Isana Mirbi! Scouter von Wende die Hester.
Rallying to Matilda's cause, a large group of knights arrived at Lincoln to bolster Robert's army. With the market town in ruins, King Stephen's supplies began to dwindle. Robert received word that Welsh troops under Matilda's banner were en route to join forces with him. But King Stephen had the roads to Lincoln heavily guarded, and the route was not without risk, even for the hardy Welshmen.
Scout, where reader?
Pestes kommt. Alles mit. Let us read it.
Scouters, read it out.
Knitas, keep that good fettle, Knitas. For Arne, Mr. Intended fettle. Bolje, Apfel, Knit. Now, Apfel, Tuck. Der Sweden, der
Making their way to Lincoln, Matilda's Welsh allies were ambushed by the king's soldiers. Robert's men would need to aid the Welsh if they wanted their help in breaking the siege. Joining forces on the road to Lincoln, Matilda's allied troops made for the castle to lift the siege.
Scouter is ready to Icamonte Fara. With a Schulich, Ridende for.
Freck, on Knitas, let us read it.
Scout, go and Demidute, give me Ridende for. Cosa is an elder Ned.
Fusse.
Scout, Icamonte Fara.
I'll sweet here. All keep it good fettle, Knitas.
Whether Hildu's Cosa is saddle, Verende Suahet. Give him Ridende Suahet.
Knitas, keep it good Pestes hit with.
With a Schulich, Volwende the Cosa, elder Ned. Stirende nu.
Volwende die Hester. With a Stowenden Scout, Ridende Suachen. Alles with. Kus, Isana.
Robert's forces spotted a large detachment of Stephen's soldiers guarding the castle gates. If they hoped to liberate Lincoln, they would need to break the blockade and rout the army.
Verende Suahet.
Yahweh periente hestes nu mes selges.
Scout, Ridende for.
Boa is foliende hestes.
Scouter, Icamonte Fara. With a Schul, elder Ned. Stirende nu. Kusuri sa, Ridende for. Give him Rende Sua.
Jeppe me a bot, suet het. Glidande ner hurteth no one never down. That's with the rest. I can't do. I can't do.
Give him Icamonte Fara. Kusa, Ridende Sua het.
Give me Hesters.
Verende Sua het. With a Schul, elder Ned. Stirende nu. Scouter, Ridende for.
Wow, yeah, suet they het. Knitas, ut reader, thou apple tookest. Jute is none for dead.
Kusa, go and Demidute.
Apple Knitas jana. Wow, sen heriende hestes nu. Arken for Arne, Mr. Apple Knitas. Mandente to servant.
Give me and when the
Knitas. In the sun. Knitas!
i hästar. Scouter i varenda swahet. With a shot down the bow! With a shot
Robert's forces scattered the king's army, leaving the gates to the castle unguarded.
Scoutess, you ready to read them? Give me Elder name. Go under me duty.
Robert's men finally united with Lincoln's garrison. They could now use the castle to strengthen their army. To lift the siege, they needed to destroy the enemy camps surrounding the castle.
Ik kan du. Ik do not. Hästes konfolien järwe suhere. Ik kan du. En ten
Obeisance is ane av du. Sitta hästen. We have a stay in Småland. Alla knittens today is none but dead. Jag vill tjärja. Ik så här säger. Where been shaken? Ik nou beelden dat voor dig. Beelden dat niet aan nu. Ik ben boel toe maken jaren, mijn vriend. Mijn way is clear. Knieters. Keep that good fettle, knieters. Thou apple tookest. Let us read it, Ines. And then let us serve. For Arneth, Mr. Apple after he went good fettle, Creedus. For Arneth, Creedus! For Arneth, Creedus!
Matilda's forces struck hard, destroying one of King Stephen's siege camps.
It's living you here! All of his good vessel, Gritas! Gritas! All Gritas, let us read it! Gritas! All the Gritas, yeah! Today is none but death! And Arik will each cars wet. Gritas! In the Gritas, stand there! For all the Gritas! Gritas! Put the milk city fire! Soldiers! For Warner! Knieters, let us read it, Knieters! Alle Sweden! Soldiers! Keep it good fettle, Knieters! Don't read it, thou apple tookest! Keep it good fettle!
King Stephen's army dwindled as Matilda's forces struck down another siege camp.
For Arnes, Mr. Arkendrey. Alles with it. For Arnes, and we resist, Greetings! Greetings, you say it's not more dead. Alles with it.
Kuusuris, duende mi dute. Rende sua het. Eldene. Stirende nu. Ridende sua het.
Alla Greetings, ja! Forward, Greetings!
Du vill så ridende for. Folwende di hästar.
Alla Greetings, ja! Greetings, it's living you here! Greetings,
Din bunkers are standard yard.
What needs to stay on That building will be reaper-railed and all.
Achtung, Grigute is not more dead. Forward, som Melissa, Greetings. Now, Sweden, by oss till attender!
Hästes kasteriat. Brafte hästes heriende. Dressen uppnäd berg. Hästes kom kalle du.
Men av armes. We'll förrända upp en av armes. Abide. Inte bedanes.
Kjäret hästes. Följande hästes. Sues ei hänt.
Alla klättrat och sprider, Greetings. Fått jag minst säga punkt.
Fuse tolkas. Häst steppet tuget arvenen.
Achtung, Greetings! Ja! Lägger oss rider, Greetings!
Give him an ikel do that.
Greet, lägger oss rider, Greetings. Och rider, Greetings! Att den tätt och kör, Greetings! I vänner, Dina munkers are standard yard. Alla Greetings, yard! It's living you here! Attente to serve, Greetings! In an attack! Forward, Greetings! To score! Suse to serve!
What needs to stay on duty? On midway. Reaper railings are not going. Ich will angehen on the reaper railings loop. Yaris done some work.
They're Sweden! They're Arkendrey! Greetings! Achtung, Greetings! Today is not for yet!
See things to work, on midway. What did you say I'm doing? Ich will building that grenade.
The king's army was scattered, and those who didn't fall fled.
Greetings, standing there! Forward as
I'll return.
King Stephen was spotted, shielded by his men. To end the siege, Matilda's forces needed to capture Stephen and rout his army.
Duende mi dute.
TC to work, eh? Ich am on min way. Ready, see ahead. Charlotte,
Knitters, in an attack! I'm with you! Attention to serve! Alle gut, Friede! Now afterwards!
Matilda's men closed in and finally captured King Stephen. Matilda's forces had won the battle at Lincoln. But the fight for the crown was not over yet.